This is a gaming PC, and as you might expect, it is running Windows. But today, I'm going to be trying to install Arch Linux on it. Let's get started. Alright, so I decided to use this USB stick, mainly because this is the only one that is USB 3.0, which means it should go faster. Alright, one thing before we get started, this computer has no Wi-Fi chip, which means Wi-Fi and Bluetooth don't work at all. Normally it is in the other room, which has Ethernet, but this room has no Ethernet, which means in order to get an internet, which it needs internet to install Arch Linux, I am going to have to use my phone's hotspot, and my phone is recording, so you're going to see a cable. Also, with it being used as a hotspot now, I'm not using my microphone. You can't plug my microphone and my phone at the same time as using it as a wired hotspot, so it's not going to sound as good. Alright, so since this thing has really slow Wi-Fi with my phone, I'm going to go to my other computer to go ahead and set up this USB. We are back, and now there are a couple of drives inside of here. There's a Windows drive, which is on an NVMe SSD, and then there's a couple of SATA SSDs in there. So I'm hoping to install it on one of those. Alright, so everything's ready. I have the installation guide over here I'm going to be following, so let's go ahead and do this. So, do F8 this time. Here we go. This one. Here we go. Plugged in my phone. Let's see if... Okay, yes. Internet is working now. It is getting stuff. How do I stop this? Ah, there we go. Just Control C. Alright. So now we can continue on installing it. So what I was doing all that time was I was just finding out which drive I had to install to, and then I was formatting the drive and stuff. Now we're gonna do the installation. We have to do a patch wrap. Okay. MPE phase. Oops. That too. Okay, that's doing stuff. And it is going pretty slow since it's on my phone's hotspot, so it's gonna take a while. So when using my phone as a hotspot, I got a bunch of errors saying it was too slow, and I only ended up getting 31 out of the 149 things. So instead of using my hotspot, I am going to use this 2012 Mac Mini. It's just an old Mac Mini from 2012, and hopefully if I connect this to the Wi-Fi network and then plug an Ethernet cable, plug one into there and then other end into here, and then I should be able to use internet sharing. So this shares the Wi-Fi connection over the cable. Alright, so with this Mac Mini plugged in, it is still not working. You can still not get the internet to work. So instead of using this Mac Mini, I'm going to be trying to use this Mac Mini. So this one is a 2012 Mac Mini. Whereas this one is an M4 Mac Mini, which is 2024. So hopefully because it's newer, maybe it'll work. This one, for some reason, IP addresses work, not normal addresses like google.com. So it doesn't install without that working. Plug that into here. Alright, there we go. Now this one's on. We're also going to unplug it from here. And we're just going to plug this one. Now, I don't know if this is going to work because it's the exact same thing I was doing on the other Mac Mini. I was just thinking maybe because it's newer, the DNS would work properly. Alright, now it's working fine. For some reason, when I was using this Mac Mini, it didn't work, but this one worked. It was the exact same thing in the settings menu, turning on internet sharing, but working fine. Now that we have the internet working, I'm going to go ahead and command to install it. Here we go. And now it's installing everything. Now we're not using my phone's hotspot anymore. I can use my microphone now. Yeah, so we just did that command, the package trap command already. So let's see, I'm scrolling through the guide here. What's the next thing I need to do? Mounted them. The next command on the list is this one. tab u mt and then that. Okay. Okay, actually I don't think I needed to do that. /mt. Right, what? Potatoes. I set the password to test. All right, done that. So now that we've done that, we need to install Grub. I guess Grub is the best one. Right. And GROS Prober. Yes. Yeah. And nano etc/default /grub. Okay, before I do, no, okay, I forgot to download nano, so of course the nano command didn't work. All right, there we go. Now I should be able to run that. All right. This is where it gets complicated. I need to find grub, disable, OS, prober, false. There we go. We need to remove that. Alright, I figured out how to save it, and now we are installing grub. Alright, so now we can exit and then unmount the drive. Is that there? And then we can reboot it. We are booting into Arch Linux. I rebooted it and it showed up in the grub menu. And let's see if Arch Linux shows up. So since I don't have a user yet, I just logged in as root. I should probably do that first, is create a user so I don't have to use it as root. Right, so we're gonna do user add mg real s bin bash and then sudo. Set the password. Sudo. Alright, there we go. And then yes. So now I need to install graphics drivers for both the GPUs in there. There's an Intel Arc and an NVIDIA RTX. So this long command installs drivers for both of them, as well as a thing so that they can communicate together and switch. Alright, now that we've done that, we need to install GNOME desktop. That's the one I'm going to use for this video. So you install GNOME tweaks, as well as GDM. Enter, then it is all one. What's okay? Spelling all of them. All we need to do is enable those things. So first off, we need to enable GDM. So system enable GDM. Also, I have 2 GPUs, so I need to enable the switcher control thing we just did. So there it is. Okay, just enabled all those. And now we can do sudo reboot. All right, we're going to boot into Arch Linux. And hopefully this will open up the GNOME desktop environment. Looks like it is. There we go. Sudo. And now here we are. Okay. Welcome to Arch Linux. If you want to learn your way around, learn about the key features in Arch Linux. Overview shows all your option windows. So press the Windows key. Okay. So Windows key, powerful search. Just start typing in the overview to do. Okay, so it's like Spotlight Search. Okay. Stay organized with workspaces, which I guess are G's, which kind of like Mac or Windows. Okay. Also like Mission Control on Mac, but I don't have a touchpad. So here we are. You can just do this, like push that or do this, and everything we have the way. So it's just the plain GNOME experience. So it recognizes my NVIDIA card, so that means that that's working at least. It's not too much installed. These are all the stuff that it installed when it was. Where is the terminal? In here? Alright, yeah, it's just called console. And there's a terminal. Alright, so now I am on a screen recording, and my microphone is working, and the desktop audio is working. As you can see, if I change my volume, you can hear the little noises. And I think I can just put this if I do move to workspace. Right, so now OBS is over there, and you can't see it. So I also found out, here's the recording I'm currently recording. This is a test recording I did. I'm gonna move to trash. So if you click this button, I can actually access my Windows drive. Yeah, here's my Windows drive. All I've installed so far is OBS. I want to try installing Steam. I think I can do that in the terminal. Is it just Pacman Steam? Keep forgetting to do sudo. Okay, how to install Steam Arch Linux. To install Steam on Arch Linux, enable the multi-lib repository in etc/pacman config. That, and here, and then multi-lib. I have to find that. Do that. There we go. O, enter X. Alright, now, if that, then we should be able to install Steam. There we go. Alright, this is installing Steam now. Alright, let's see if Steam is installed. And there it is, right there. Now Steam is open. Let's go inside it. Finally got my code. Alright, and Steam shows up. Let's see what supports Linux. Basically all my games. Let's try BMG drive. It's gonna take a while because it's 50 gigabytes. So while that's downloading, I guess I'll go ahead and mess around and setting some settings. See, multitask. Oh yeah, and then there's the different workspaces. I'm gonna do fixed number of workspaces instead of 2, so that yeah, it only stays in 1. Because I didn't like how when you moved OBS there, it made a new one. So I'm just gonna do that. Include apps from all workspaces. Go to this. So this shows all the workspaces, and this shows the current workspace, which is only these. I'm gonna keep it like this. See, so I have default, which I guess has some light, some dark. I checked console, it's dark, this is light, and then dark, it makes everything dark. Okay. And you can also change that up here, dark style. And here's some built-in backgrounds. They all look pretty good. It's right, so this one, and there's light and dark mode variants of each one. That looks pretty cool. They all look pretty good. I'm just gonna keep it at this one for now. Let's see, is there anything else I can change there? No. A bunch of apps. I wonder if the date and time is right. No, the date and time is not right. Automatic date and time, automatic time zone. This is not my time zone. The time is now right.
Front, right, front, left, front, right.
So I have my phone and all this appears to be working. Still not done downloading. BeamNG Drive has finished downloading. Let's go ahead and play that. Looking failed to create swap chain. Okay, that's not gonna install the Minecraft launcher through the terminal. Alright, let's go ahead and try the latest version of Minecraft. Here we are in Minecraft. I'm going to open up this world. I already was in the world, and I wasn't actually recording. So anyway, now I am recording, and frame rate here is not as good as it is on Windows. On Windows, I get about like 700 FPS. With Sodium, I get 1000 FPS, but on vanilla Minecraft, I normally get 700 FPS. Here, down here. Go down here. Down here. Don't want to die. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh, no. Super. Alright. Alright, well that's it. If you liked it, please leave me a like, and if I get 10 new subscribers from this video, I will try to use this computer for a whole week. So yeah, see you in the next video.